All right, welcome back. It is a terrific Tuesday of Liquid Lunch. Until further notice, Liquid Lunch is going to be called Stop the Steal TV because that's how serious we got to take what's happening to us right now. And look, nobody's here saying, let's do a revolution. Even if we lost, let's steal it back. That's not what we're saying. There are eventualities that will come out of this thing. I think our side is going to prove that there were too many irregularities to validate the elections in some of these states. I may prove to be wrong, but until then, I'm going to spit blood. I'm going to do all I can to arm you, my friends out there watching all across the country on Biz TV, everybody on social media, listening on Biz Talk Radio nationwide. You got to understand there are a lot of facts in our favor, and the path to victory is still certainly at hand. Don't give in to the voter fatigue that these psychological operators are trying to program into our brain on the mainstream media. Now, if you want to calm down a little bit, you'll know we have a great fighter and a great patriot on our side as well. I'm joined right now by John Schneider. I have to say, I'm 52 years old. Every man my age probably idolized you for a number of reasons. And many of us probably had a Daisy Dukes poster on our wall, and
well, of course.
We all envied you for being right next to Daisy Duke. But John, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to take some time.
Hey, JT, do you know that I'm from New York? Do you know that I'm from
I know that you were born in Mount Kisco, New York, okay? So many people wouldn't know that General Lee was ridden by a New Yorker. Everybody thinks you're a good old boy and a hillbilly, but you're a New Yorker. I did some homework.
I left Mount Kisco. My mother worked for IBM out of Armonk, and I left there in '74. I was 14. So I'm 5 years more from Mount Kisco than Biden is from Scranton.
All right, so let me ask you this, John. You know what? That's why this guy's a worldwide entertainer, and we're over here on Liquid Lunch. But John, thank you so much. Now, let me ask you this. Yeah. Many people feel like, and even some of my most fervent Trump-supporting friends are like, man, we're dead, right? You know, like the mainstream media is trying to make us give up, and they feel like Trump is wrapped in knots. Now, I know that years ago you started your entertainment career by doing magic shows for your friends and family. Yeah. And one of those magic tricks that went bad is when you tied yourself up in chains and tried to recreate the Houdini trick and get out of the pool, and you had some serious problems with that. Does Trump need a Houdini trick right now?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I didn't have any problems. Part of showmanship is making it look like you have problems, like you're never going to get out. Oh my God, he's gone too far. This is the end. John's going to drown. Trump is going to go back to Florida. I honestly believe, JT, that our president is so... You ever play chess? Oh, forget that.
Of course.
You ever play pool with somebody who plays triple shape, who calls the ball after the ball after the ball that he's currently hitting?
Yep, I know what you mean. I hate those guys.
I knew Donald Trump back in the 90s, and I tell you, there is not a smarter man on the planet, and a lot of his genius lies in that you would never suspect it when you're talking to him, right?
Absolutely.
So I do believe, I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, but considering the executive order that the president signed in 2018, considering everything he has been saying on the news prior to, up to, and after, actually he said very little after, prior to and up to the election, I do believe that he was not only fully prepared for this, but he knew what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, and when they were going to pull the trigger. But the patience, fellow patriots, we have to be patient because the shoplifter has not left the store yet. You can't arrest the shoplifter, JT.
Got it. Right, they don't tackle you.
Little 9-year-old JT walks out of the goodie shop with a candy bar.
Oh, yeah. They don't tackle you inside the store. They wait till you step outside, you know,
yeah.
and I think
they've been standing at the door now since the 5th of November.
It's pretty scary.
They've been standing inside the store, looking outside, wondering. The trick is letting them think they got away with it, and I think they do.
I think they're starting to think that. They think we can't possibly prove it. But I see the same way some people are getting fatigued, I see other people really getting motivated, like millions of people taking time out of their life to go down to Washington just to show support for a president. Joe Biden couldn't get 1,000 people at a rally when he was running for president. Donald Trump's getting hundreds of thousands just to come out and support them. But it is getting close, John. And many people... by the way, I'm a big fan of Smallville as well. I know you're probably most recognized for being Bo Duke and your role in Smallville. I thought the whole show was great. I know you even directed a few episodes. But many people don't know, or they probably know, but they don't realize that you are quite the country artist as well. And you had one of your singles, It's Now or Never, went as high as #8 on the U.S. country Billboard charts. I feel like, is it now or never for Trump and his team to start coming out and starting the barrage?
Well, listen, JT, all they really have to do, and I trust Rudy completely. I've known Jay Sekulow for almost 30 years. So all they have to do is turn one of these counties in one of these states over with irrefutable evidence, and then have them throw away one ballot. As soon as you've opened up the admission from the other side that there has been something wrong, and I'm not in favor, by the way, of letting them get away with an oversight, because if it's an oversight, then it's not their fault. You and I and everybody listening, we know. It's just a matter of proving it. But we know what they did. We know Joe Biden couldn't be successfully elected to student council. We know that.
No, there's no question about it. I mean, you know, I recounted yesterday that Joe Biden had said, you know, I think, you know, some of my family members have had dementia. Sometimes they say things that are crazy, and sometimes they just spew something out that's true, but it wasn't appropriate to say at that moment. And Joe Biden has, on the record, said, we built one of the greatest election fraud organizations ever in history. And another time he said, hey, folks, I don't really need your votes to get elected, but I'm going to need you when I get in office. And I think these were more Freudian slips than gaffes. A gaffe is a different thing. It seems like it's all starting to come together that, well, why the hell do we have to wheel them out of the basement if we know we're going to win this thing? We can only get ourselves in trouble because we don't want the polls that we're making up to look like they're narrowing. So that could hurt us. So it sure seems like a lot of things are clicking into place to say, now it all makes sense. And, you know, here on Biz TV, about 80% of our audience are small business owners, entrepreneurs. And I say this all the time. 75% of the employees in America work for a small business with under 4 employees. So, like, small businesses really drive this country. And I don't care if you're a farmer, if you own the local hardware store, you see something going on, you smell a rat, the scent doesn't sound right, doesn't smell right. Regular business people, regular blue-collar people can smell a rat from far away, and a lot of people are saying, you know what, I smell a rat here. Just something ain't right.
Well, absolutely. You know, we have to be good judges of character because in small businesses, you do deal with shoplifting. You do deal with dishonesty. But I think what people are all caught up in the numbers, JT. It's not about the numbers. It's not about how much someone cheated. There are no acceptable levels of voter fraud. Voter fraud one time is the same thing as voter fraud 1,000,000 times. So as soon as one of the state legislatures, and by the way, it's not the state judges, it's the state legislature that validates or invalidates the votes. As soon as they tip that hand and invalidate, I don't know how many thousand votes in Pennsylvania or how many thousand votes in Nevada, Georgia, or Wisconsin, as soon as one of them gives the rest of them an excuse to be honest and come clean, we're going to see a landslide of votes going the other way, the likes of which I don't think anyone is prepared for.
I happen to agree with you.
That's when we need to be. That's when we need to be concerned.
No doubt.
We need to not let our friends or whatever they are across the aisle go crazy.
They are going crazy now. Hey,
they
John.
went crazy when people showed love for the president.
Hey, John, we got a quick break here. Can you stay with us for a few more minutes through this commercial? I want to talk to you about your new series, The Haves and the Have-Nots. I want to talk to you about your dance moves. And then I also want to talk to you about the Children's Miracle Network. All right.
Okay, and my movie. We got to talk about
no doubt about it. That's why I want to do a little more. Right. Okay, you're watching Stop the Steal. John Schneider joins us right now. So nice, he's going to do it twice. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, okay? Have some fun. Share the stream. Tell a friend. We got the man himself, and he's on our team with the people that want to make sure that this is a free and fair election. We're going to take a quick break right here. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back right after this with John Schneider.